was disgusting what I do for the clout. I'm one of the realest, the realest can vouch. They thought I was done, but all I can doubt, you gotta make my...
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action with Jackson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat? And every man with reporters this week, he kind of said, enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
An early message that the secondary is going to be tested, because even though it's incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense in the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing game. This was an era we were where the ball was always in the air.
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, are so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
2nd and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Catch is made by Hardman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. They keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got it open man. It's David Njoku, the tight end. And he is going to have the Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good job there getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always running. It's going to be big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
This time, the extra point up and good, and that will make this a 19-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last that didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Handoff comes to Chubb. He can't get him down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Called an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Shoves him aside. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 21-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Now a give right side. Alexander. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll try again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues. And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
They go play action now. Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Wiggles free. He'll be out just a yard or 2 short of the 30.
Not sure how you feel about it. To me, we're seeing it in front of our eyes. This league continues to change. Look at the moves you ordinarily get from a running back from the quarterback position.
Yeah, that's like a Le'Veon Bell type move right there. But you're exactly right. The game's kind of evolving in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the quarterback is rapidly becoming an extra running back as well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure right. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football back at their own 17. When he went on the move and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it. So they gave up the incompletion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. As he dragged across each zone, he started communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and sneak it here. And he's going to have the Browns 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to turn on 3rd and inches. They go play action here on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's short, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt.
And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Jackson's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Some years in here.
49 now. They'll come up on first and 10.
Your hand?
To throw is Jackson. They'll roll him out
The
right.
TV tower.
And he is out
The
of
phone I
bounds,
missed.
but not before he's inside the 30.
Only wear your glasses.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 2. Jackson now completes it to Hardman.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play really nice.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 15 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Now this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try to chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum. You know, you see sometimes times where they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
Lutz good on the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. And Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
2nd and 5. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken at the 37. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Jackson. He gets this one to Boyd. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 29, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Thank you, man.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mecole Hardman, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Takes it at the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust? And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Back to throw here. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time for Cleveland. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back to incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Back to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And what with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's a handoff out of the gun, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Play action. Now Jackson. That's complete. Okuebunam. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down. It's the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They go play action now. Jackson steps away. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action. It's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They're going to look to throw. Open man here, Schwartz, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
He'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Takes it at the 7. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Flushed out right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They'll set up a throw. Out to us. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man. It's Judy complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Kicks it on the ground with a squib. Taking now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
As that ball he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And nearly another interception. It would have been his third of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.